Welcome back to Brandon Sports, everybody. Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm here for my Monday Night Raw review for December 22nd, 2025. Before we get to the review, please hit the like button and subscribe button to the YouTube channel for more great content coming up. My overall thoughts on this show before we get into the actual review was I thought it was horrible. No effort, lackadaisical. Clearly, this company does not care about professional wrestling. Again, I said when TKO took over this company and brought it from Vince McMahon, I felt like they didn't care. Now, I understand 2024 was a good year because booking and you had The Rock and you had good storylines, but this year has just, to me, been a money grab. 2025 for WWE has been just a huge money grab. And you can obviously see it. They don't care. They're phoning in shows. They don't care about what they're doing. The booking has been awful. Triple H has been god-awful this year, and we're going to blame him because, again, I tried to blame TKO. But when Nick Khan came out and said that he has no creative control in the company and nobody does it and it's just Triple H, somebody must be in his ear. Because you can't go from what you did in 2024 to go to what you did in 2025 and just be horrible. I don't understand what's going on with this company. I truly do not understand what's going on. I don't know why the creative has been bad this year. I don't know if it's because of The Rock, the whole John Cena thing with The Rock and Travis Scott. I don't know. It's because WrestleMania was horrible. All the pay-per-views are horrible. Survivor Series. Again, I gave it a B- just because I was being nice and I liked the main event of the show and I really thought that carried it. But otherwise, it was a C- pay-per-view. But all in all, this show is just not good. The booking and creative is not good. We're going to get into the review about how Austin Theory just doesn't matter. And I told you guys, when they reviewed Austin Theory as the Masked Man, it was one of the biggest letdowns in company history. Because before he left, we didn't care about him. So what makes you think you put him under a mask that we're supposed to care about him? But we're going to get into that. The show first starts out with Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. They're walking into the building, basically coming from outside. They basically looks like walking through the parking lot, parking garage where all the cars are, whatever. But they're walking through. So Paul Heyman tells Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker to get warm. Because obviously when they're talking, you can see their breath. They're outside, so it's cold. So he says, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, go inside. You basically go get warm. He got this. So Paul then walks over to Austin Theory and wants to know what the hell he is doing. Theory then says he wanted Paul to know why he was wearing the mask. Theory then says he wanted everyone to feel his actions before you saw his face. Theory then says he made some bad decisions. Theory then says he got comfortable and he got injured. Theory then says he saw the group. Theory then says they don't wait, they take. Then Theory then says he would love to take the opportunity to help out in their match tonight. Paul then says, interesting, very interesting, and walks away. Now, this exchange that you saw between Paul Heyman and Austin Theory was good. It was a good back and forth in a promo. But again, nobody cares about Austin Theory in this particular time. We'll have to wait and see what they do. But coming in before this happened, ladies and gentlemen, before this happened, nobody cared about him. You know why? Because he was in a tag team with Grayson Waller, who is now, looks like the water boy for the New Day. Before he got injured, he was in a tag team with Grayson Waller, and they've been teasing these guys breaking up for over 7 months. So now that you bring him back in the mask, what makes you think I'm going to care about him? What makes you think I'm going to care about this guy? Why would I care about this guy if before he left, there was nothing to care about? This makes no sense of why he was the actual guy. Now, if they see something in him and want to push him, I have no problem with that. He's actually good. He's not a bad performer, but nobody cares about the character. Like, again, I keep telling you guys, you can have good wrestling all you want to. When I don't care about the character, why should I just care, period? I'll just see you having a good match and that's it. They don't care. This company and the creative don't care, but we're going to continuously moving on because it's just aggravating watching this every single week. But I love watching wrestling, period. But it's aggravating watching this because it's just common sense. It feels like there's no common sense within this company about booking and being on the creative side. We then take a look at what happened last week with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. We then see Rhea Ripley and Io in the back. And Rhea says she cannot protect Io against Kairi and Asuka. So she asks her to stay in the back. Rhea then tells Io to stay safe and she hugs Io. Rhea Ripley makes her way down to the ring. And the first match of the night is with Kairi Sane. Now, my only problem with this was I like Io Sky a lot. I thought that the Intercontinental Women's Championship before, I told you guys they should have made it the European Championship, the Women's European Championship, and put it between both brands, but they didn't do that. But when they made the Women's Intercontinental title and they had that tournament, when Io Sky was in that tournament, I said that she should have been the one, or Natalya should have won that tournament. For the Women's Intercontinental Championship, I said that those two women should have won, not Lala Valkyria, because it just didn't make sense. To me, even Going after all of this, just going through the storyline of that, still didn't make sense to me. I would have still gave Io Sky or Natalia the championship. I would never give it to Lala Valkyria. So basically, this was a good match between Rhea Ripley and Asuka. At the end of the match, Io Sky came out to interfere and basically help because Kairi Sane knocked Rhea Ripley off the rope. Then after that, after she rocks her off the rope, Asuka gets a roll up for the win. Again, I don't really do play by play because that's not my thing. I didn't really care about this match. I would have did it more, but I don't care. I just don't care about Rhea Ripley being in a tag team. I don't care about Io Sky being in a tag team. Kairi Sane and Asuka are fine to me. You could put them on the side. After the match, Rhea Ripley checked on Io Sky after she was attacked by Kairi Sane. I didn't care anything about this. I'm tired of the acting of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. It's like they're a couple or something. Like the way she acts and like I don't get it. I don't know what they're doing with them. I don't know what they're doing at all. This absolutely is boring to me. I don't care about these two women being in a tag team together. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. It's good to team up and be together, but for the tag team titles, no, let somebody else do it. Asuka, they're not gonna have her contend for the women's world title right now. Fine, you put her in a tag team. They're not doing anything with Kairi Sane. You could put them in a tag team and have the tag team titles and defend the belts. But overall, are we supposed to care about Rhea Ripley and Io Sky being together? Yes, they're baby faces, but what about the women's world title? We have two top stars in the company, and they're not after the women's world title. Now I know they just got done chasing the women's world title, but still, at least one of them could do something. What about the Intercontinental Championship? Now we're running back Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree. I just don't get any of this stuff. This is just lackadaisical. It's lazy booking again. We're going back to Becky Lynch, but we'll get to it later on, and Maxine Dupree for the women's IC title. I don't care. We then get to the back where Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are talking, and Paul Heyman shows up. They want to know what is going on. Paul Heyman mentions Theory. Paul then says, "Who were you guys 18 months ago?" Paul then says, "Now you are main eventing Australian beating Roman Reigns." He was talking to Bronson Reed. Paul then says, "Where were you?" Paul then says, "You called your shot and took out Seth Rollins, and you're main eventing Raw anniversary show on Netflix." Paul then says, "Someone had a vision for you, and he is selective." Paul then says, "He has a vision for Austin Theory." Paul then says, "Austin and Reed will face CM Punk and Rey Mysterio." Paul then says, "Either he carries out that vision or you carry Austin Theory's ass out of WWE." Reed then says he has this, and Braun says he has Reed's back. Again, backstage segment. They're continuously progressing the storyline. I'm not going to say it was bad because it wasn't bad. It made a lot of sense of what Paul Heyman said to Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a chance to continue to develop. But overall, I still don't care about Austin Theory. Up next, we get Maxine Dupree walking backstage. We then take a look at how the crowd treated Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch comes out and cuts a promo saying that Maxine Dupree is not the real women's Intercontinental Champion, that she was robbed, there was a corrupt referee, and that she knows that the fans are upset about the corruption, which they're not. They're not. So she's playing her heel role very, very well. Becky then says she has the best attorneys. Becky then says she went to the biggest wigs of Netflix and they told her to go to Michigan. Becky then complains about the lack of rapids in the city and says she was told that she needs to take matters into her own hands. Maxine Dupree then interrupts her. She makes her way down to the ring. Maxine starts off by saying, "We all heard Becky." Maxine then admits that Sports Illustrated was right. Becky Lynch is the best of all time. Maxine then says she is a rookie. Maxine then says the rookie beat the greatest of all time. Maxine then mentions that she has won 3 times. Maxine then says Becky can have her chance to get the title back and she can have it any place and any time. Maxine then says to Becky Lynch she will train to make sure that she is still the champion. Maxine then says she wants Becky to admit that she is her champion. Maxine then tells Becky to take it on the chin and admit it, but at this time you don't look like the greatest of all time. Maxine then says, "You look like your best days are behind you." Becky then slaps Maxine and punches her on the mat. Becky then takes the mat and she punches Maxine in the back of the head. Maxine then gets up and she puts Becky in the ankle lock. Becky then taps out and Maxine releases the hold. My problem with this segment was when Becky Lynch punched Maxine Dupree and she fell on the ground and she started punching her in the head, it looked at, and I don't like when people disrespect the wrestling business and call it fake. I don't like it. However, this did not look real at all. This was not sold at all. These were horrible punches. And who am I to talk? I'm not a wrestler. Okay, fine. But you're still looking at what you're looking at. These are horrible punches. Please make it look real. I hate when people say wrestling is fake and then you give them something like this. This was not good at all. What kind of punches that she was throwing? it aggravated me because I'm like, man, we could do better than this. It's the same criticism I had about Kairi Sane 2 weeks ago on Raw, or I think it was Survivor Series when she was punching down and it just didn't look real. Not enough momentum in the punches. It's just disrespectful to the art of wrestling when you do stuff like that. Yes, it's not supposed to really hit somebody upside their head, but make it more believable. If you can't do that, turn her on her back and then act like you're hitting her in the face instead of going behind, and it looks like it's just not real. It's just the selling that happens in this company is horrible too. They don't. I know another company they don't sell at all, but on this, the selling sometimes in this division is absolutely terrible. But anyway, Maxine makes Becky Lynch tap out. I didn't really care for this because I don't want to see this over again. I don't want to see Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree run it back. I don't. Because on January 5th, if they have their match, is AJ Lee going to come out and cost her the match? Because here's one thing I don't want to see. I do not want to see AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. If people want to see that, they're lying to you, and they just want to do it because they just want to see AJ Lee fight somebody at WrestleMania. Let her do something else. I do not want to see AJ Lee and Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble. I don't want to see it at Elimination Chamber. I don't want to see it at WrestleMania. I don't want to see it at all. If you're going to do it on a random Monday Night Raw and get it over with. I don't want to see this at all. I don't want to see AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. Enough. AJ Lee hasn't been there, so now you're going to continuously keep extending this feud for no reason. I don't want to see it at all. We then take a look at what happened last week with Nikki Bella. We then get to see Javon Evans and Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce wishes him good luck in his match against Rayo. He then says he would like to talk to Evans after the match about his future. Evans then leaves. Stephanie Valkyrie shows up to talk to Adam Pearce. Pearce asks Stephanie how can they resolve things with her, Nikki and Raquel. Between all three of them, Stephanie says she wants them both. Pearce then says that match can happen next week on Monday Night Raw. You want to know about the sad part about this is that this match, if it's going to happen next week on Monday Night Raw, then that means that this match is not happening January 5th, which is a whole nother problem. Your women's world champion is not on January 5th. This is my problem and my complaint. As a matter of fact, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to reread. It says Stephanie Valkyrie will defend the Women's World Championship against Raquel Rodriguez and Nikki Bella next week on Raw, which means that this match will not be on January 5th. What is the point of having Stephanie Valkyrie being called up to the main roster if you're going to treat her like this? You have a gold mine with Stephanie Valkyrie. I get it. It's not the best promo. She'll let her work on it. Everybody gets to work on a promo. Everybody's not going to be the best at a promo. Let her work on it. But this is disgusting. Who is booking this show? This is horrible. The fact that your women's world champion is not on the anniversary of Netflix. I know CM Punk is defending his world title again, but why is she not on it? It's like they're giving her the back. It's just one of the most frustrating things that you can watch. This is absolutely ridiculous. We then get some comments backstage from the Usos. They say they are back in the tag division. Then they say last week they beat the New Day and next week they will do what they have to do against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. They then say you have the titles and the target on your back. They then say they are the greatest team of all time. Let's stop for a second. I told you guys how I felt about AJ Styles being a tag team. I want him out. So if we can get the Usos to be Raw Tag Team Champions next week, I'm fine with it. Or the week after, or whenever they defend the titles. I want AJ Styles out of the tag division. I want him to actually compete for the world title. Again, give me AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker for the world title if Braun Breaker beats CM Punk. Give me something to Royal Rumble. Give me something for AJ Styles. I don't want to see him in a tag team. Yes, being in a tag team is beneath him at this point. I don't want to see it. Get him out of the tag division. No offense to Dragon Lee. I'd rather see Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio be tag team champions than to see AJ Styles be in the tag division. He's retiring this upcoming year. This is last year to see one of the greatest in-ring talents this business has ever had. And you have him in a tag team division with the World Tag Team title instead of having him actually beat Dominic Mysterio for the IC title. Because what are they doing with the IC title since Dominic Mysterio beat John Cena? I'm going to take a minute and you guys let me know in the comment section down below. What are they doing with the IC title? Absolutely nothing with Dominic Mysterio. I don't care about AAA. No disrespect. I don't watch it. I don't care about it. You have him over there doing stuff, fine. Alright, whatever. But this is Monday Night Raw. You have so many title belts that are in limbo. At least CM Punk was on the show this week. So shout out to CM Punk for actually showing up this week. I know it was recorded on this past Friday. But shout out to him for showing up. But what are they doing with the IC title? Nothing. The women's IC title. Running back a program that nobody cares about. I like Becky Lynch. I like Maxine Dupree. But this together? Absolutely not. No. Now we get another stupid tag team named the Los Americanos. They make their way down to the ring for their match against Javon Evans. Javon Evans wins this match. I thought it was a good match by Javon Evans. They call him a young OG. And my problem with the whole Javon Evans thing, real quick, him coming up is they're not going to give him any titles in NXT. He's not going to win nothing in NXT. He's just going to be a free agent coming up on the main roster. They don't give him nothing. Come on, man. Come on. Whoever's booking NXT, Shawn Michaels, come on. You mean Javon Evans can't win nothing in NXT? He can't have nothing. He can't win nothing. NXT championship he didn't win. Like what is the point of having somebody in NXT who's this talented and you're not giving him a title? And I don't want to hear from anybody saying, "Oh, hey man, certain guys just don't need a belt. They're just so great." No, that's not the truth. And people who say that, that's just lazy booking. When people say somebody doesn't need the world title, you can say somebody doesn't need the world title for now. But to say that somebody just doesn't need the world title in general is the dumbest thing in the world. They said they said the same thing about the Undertaker, and I'm biased. The Undertaker is my guy, but no. There was some times where if you're the guy and you're getting over and you're in the head of the company and you're doing what you have to do to be a top guy in the company, not every guy gets the world title run, but there are certain guys who can get at least a championship run. Not the world title, but NXT, North American title, IC title, United States title. I'm looking at Javon Evans on Wikipedia right now, and the wrestling championships. It says WWE Men's Iron Survivors Challenge 2025, and that's in NXT. He won Rookie of the Year with Wrestling Observer, but that's not what I'm talking about. Talking about championship in NXT, he has won nothing except for the Men's Iron Survivor Series Challenge. Just absolutely terrible. It's like you treat him like that in NXT. What are you going to do in the main roster? Just have him wrestle? He has a good personality. I like the kid a lot. He's very, very good. Very good. But what are you going to do with him on the main roster? So he winds up winning this match. After the match, Grande and Bravo go after Evans, but Evans is able to avoid contact, and he goes to the floor for the escape. I just want to say something, too. Whoever thought it was a good idea to put, I guess it's Pete Dunne, behind his Rayo mask for the Los Americanos, whoever came up with the Grande Americano gimmick, I know you did it for Chad Gable, but once he got hurt, you could have gotten rid of this. But instead, it's being disrespectful to continuously run with this. No, who cares? Who cares about this? I don't. This is horrible. Why are these guys on my television screen? This makes no sense. I'm going to be honest. I don't care. I'm not sugarcoating nothing. Whoever booked Los Americanos after Chad Gable got hurt, listen, I understand Chad Gable was doing it to do something else, which I don't get because Chad Gable is great on his own. You didn't have Ludwig Kaiser doing it? Like, what are we doing? This is Vince McMahon level of booking here, and we don't want that. Talking about some damn Rayo. You have Pete Dunne, who's talented enough to not be behind the mask, and you have this guy behind the mask. What are we doing? Lord have mercy. We go backstage where Kathy Kelly is with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. She then asks him about their title match next week against the Usos. AJ says that they beat the Judgment Day and they're considered the best. Lee then says they beat the War Raiders and the New Day. Lee then says they will bring fire. AJ then says as long as they have the titles, they are better than the best, and that is what they will get next week. So I guess now I can confirm that they're defending the World Tag Team titles next week. So hopefully the Usos win so AJ Styles can actually go do something productive and get out of the tag team division. We get a backstage promo with Braun Breaker. He cuts a promo, talks about how now that he has the real CM Punk back, he went to the ring and cut him in half. Braun then says he took the title from him and held it high. Braun then says it was everything he thought. Braun then says it was easy. Braun then says you think they have a personal vendetta when he threw out lines about his wife. Braun then says you don't care about your wife or anybody else. Braun then says he will make it about him. Braun then says, will it take to be watered down 2025 version of CM Punk or the best in the world? Braun then says either way the results will be the same. Braun then says he is inevitable. Braun then says he is the mountain you cannot climb or the dog you cannot outrun. He then says he hopes Punk saved all his money because after January 5th, he won't be worth $1 to anyone. This was okay promo. I know Braun Breaker's coming out of his shell. He's cutting better promos. This was an okay promo by me. It wasn't too bad at all. Didn't really think nothing of it. It's just he wants to beat CM Punk's ass on January 5th, which obviously, if they do make Braun Breaker the World Heavyweight Champion, I would love for CM Punk not to win the Royal Rumble. I would like to see him win the Elimination Chamber. He could either win the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, but I do want to see CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. That is one thing that I want to see. I don't want to see Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes again. What would be part 3? I don't want to see it again. We don't need it. Give it to us in a couple years and Roman Reigns is on the way out. I do not want to see that. I want to see CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes on SmackDown. Give SmackDown something in January and February heading into WrestleMania season. That's what I need from CM Punk. He's doing a good job right now with the world title. He's going to have a little mini run with it. Fine. He won the belt. Let's get him back with the WWE Championship. Let's get him back on SmackDown where he can actually make a great story with Cody Rhodes. Nikki Bella then interrupts Corey Graves and Michael Cole talking about Austin Theory. Nikki says she has something to say. Nikki then says everyone has forgotten who she is. She says she is a legend and a Hall of Famer. She then says she is a former champion. Nikki then says this is what champions look like. Nikki then says how would you know what the champions look like. Nikki then says you root for the Lions. She's talking about the Detroit crowd. Basically, she's getting heat by the crowd by saying you root for the Detroit Lions. You know what champions look like. Thought it was an okay line. Nikki then says the Lions wish they could be as good as the Eagles. Nikki then says something about Ohio State. Then Nikki says you are looking at the start of this division. She then says there is a reason why she is back. She then says she destroyed Raquel Rodriguez's face last week, and next week she will destroy Stephanie's title reign. Nikki then says Stephanie is a big deal in the ring, but she's a big deal everywhere else. Nikki then says the title should be around the waist of a true global superstar. Nikki says that is her. Okay, my thoughts on this promo from Nikki Bella was it was a good promo for what it was, but this promo should not be in the women's world title scene. This promo should be going up against Maxine Dupree in the women's IC title, because I don't think anybody right now in 2025 want to see Nikki Bella in the women's world title scene. Nobody. Have her face Maxine Dupree for the women's intercontinental title. Give Maxine Dupree something productive and take Becky Lynch and put her in with Stephanie Valkyrie, because that will be a better program in my opinion. You could disagree, but I think that's a better program. Becky Lynch and Stephanie Valkyrie for the women's world title at the Royal Rumble and give them a program together. But Nikki Bella's doing a good job. It's not that she's not doing a good job. It's just give this to Maxine Dupree. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria make their way down to the ring for their next match against Roxanne Perez, and Liv Morgan come out afterwards. So we get to the end of this match. Liv Morgan distracts the referee. The referee gets distracted. Roxanne Perez takes the turnbuckle pad off. Bayley hits her face. Bayley hits her face on the turnbuckle. Then Raquel Rodriguez gets up on the apron to distract the referee. They're distracting the referee for too long. After that, Liv Morgan pulls Raquel Rodriguez down off the ring and say, "What are you guys doing?" Roxanne is yelling at them, "What are you guys doing?" Whatever the case may be. After that, Bayley then hits a suplex on Roxanne Perez. Then she's leaning on a rope. Lyra Valkyria smacks Bayley, and Bayley just turns into a whole nother person and starts beating up Raquel Rodriguez. She then drops the elbow off the top rope for the win. The winner of the match was Bayley. Now let me say something about this entire thing. The fact that Bayley, again, I keep trying to talk about these tag teams. The fact that Bayley is not in the women's world title picture is disgusting too. What are we doing? Bayley's one of the most talented, most giving people in this company. She sacrificed the WrestleMania spot so that Becky Lynch could have a moment. They took that away from her, and Triple H, oh, Bayley's going to be fine. Bayley's going to be fine. What have you done with Bayley since then, Triple H? I honestly have a feeling that Bayley's not going to be in this company in another year. This is just a hunch from me. I think that she's probably going to leave, because there's no way. You have one of the greatest top 5 women's wrestlers of all time in this company, and you have her with Lyra Valkyria. Now, I have nothing against Lyra Valkyria. My problem with it is, again, she smacked her, and they're still going through that storyline where she acts like 2 different personalities, but they're not doing anything with it, really. Backstage segments, yeah, but let's get to it now. You've been teasing it off and on, and then now when people want it, you're not giving it to them. But anyway, I like Bayley a lot, and I really feel like she's just wasting her time in this company. She could be, actually, as a matter of fact, she doesn't have to be in the women's world title scene. She could be in the WWE women's title scene on SmackDown. She don't got to go against Stephanie Valkyrie. She can go and be on SmackDown, and they need to give her new entrance music, because what the hell is Role Model? What is this? Just disgusting. This company is just so lazy. It's just laziness, and that's what gets so frustrating about watching it every week. It's just a lazy booking. You're gearing up everything for January 5th, but guess what? It's December 22nd. This makes no sense. Stop gearing up for one show when you have 2 shows in front of you, which is this show and the next one. It makes no sense when they do stuff like this. It's like you don't care about 22nd and you don't care about the 29th. We're just going to go past these 2 shows because it's the end of the year. When every single week, as somebody who you're supposed to be booking or creative or anybody, you're supposed to give it your best effort. I come on here and do these videos and try to give you guys my best effort. Even if the show's horrible, I still try to give you guys my best, because I want to come in here and just say, oh, well, these videos are terrible and the show is terrible, so the video is going to be terrible. No, I'm giving you guys my best effort. Even though the show is bad, I'm giving you my best effort. This show is horrible because nobody's giving their best effort. And anytime in wrestling, there's going to be down periods wrestling, fine. Right now, it's a down period. Not really that much news. Fine, okay, whatever. But this is just ridiculous. Michael Cole and Corey Graves mentioned that the championship match is announced for January 5th. We then head to the back where Bronson Reed is in the locker room, and Austin Theory shows up and asks him, what is the plan? Reed then says this is the big leads, so to follow his lead. Theory then says he is not Reed's kid, and he will start the match, and he can follow his lead. He's telling Bronson Reed here to follow his lead. Now, my problem with this backstage segment was this. Who is Bronson Reed to tell Austin Theory about following somebody? that these are the big leagues. First of all, let's get something clear. Even though this was under Vince McMahon's booking, I didn't like this because Austin Theory was United States champion, went to WrestleMania, and had a match against John Cena, beat John Cena because they were building him up. Now Triple H, after Vince McMahon left, when Roman Reigns said, "Your daddy's not here anymore," which people go back to that line all the time when it comes to Austin Theory, and that makes me mad because when Vince McMahon was there and Roman Reigns was the big dog, Austin Theory could have said something to the same light. Like, your daddy ain't here anymore because we all know when you were the big dog that Vince McMahon did everything in his power to get you over and you were being booed. Now, that was poor booking. You should have been a heel. We get that. But for Roman Reigns to say that to Austin Theory in that moment, it was a fun moment fine with people. But me, I'm looking at it as, no, you were the original, quote, teacher's pet. Not Austin Theory. Just because Vince McMahon believes in me doesn't mean that you didn't have this first. But anyway, that was a long time ago. But Austin Theory, no disrespect to Bronson Reed, Austin Theory was in a singles match at WrestleMania. He was United States champion. Vince McMahon was giving him a push, even though Vince McMahon ain't good at booking no more at that time. But no, you can't try to sun him when he's actually been in a WrestleMania match with John Cena, arguably the greatest of all time. You can't try to sun somebody just because they haven't main evented in a while. I didn't think that made any sense at all. We then see Gunther walking back in the backstage area. We then see the Judgment Day in the clubhouse. They are arguing. Roxanne then blames Raquel for what happened. Raquel yells at them for not helping her last week with Nikki. Liv then says they are just trying to help and they are a family. And this is what family does. Roxanne then says she wants to know what everyone is doing. Raquel then says she doesn't need this. Raquel then says she has a title match to get ready for next week. My thoughts on this segment was they're starting to show the cracks of the Judgment Day, so I didn't really have a problem with this at all. They're starting to show the fracture in between them. I think Liv Morgan is doing this on purpose, not to Raquel Rodriguez, but to Roxanne Perez. I'm not sure. We'll see how it plays out. I'm not going to go in on them just because for the past couple weeks I've been getting angry about them continuously teasing this thing and they could just continuously not giving us people what they want and it gets drawn out for too long. That's one problem under Triple H that we have is that it continues to be drawn out for way too long. He waits way too long. Do you guys remember when Otis and Chad Gable were in a rivalry and they never hit the button on Otis? To me, that was deliberate. You can't tell me that wasn't deliberate by this company. They continuously do this every single time, and it's one of the most frustrating things. It's like, give the people what they want. It's a wrestling show. I love this business. It's a wrestling show. And when you do stuff like this, it's like, man, you drawing things out and then you don't get to a conclusion. Or you draw them out and then you don't give nobody what they want when you get to the conclusion. Sometimes not everybody's going to get what they want, but man, the booking on this show is absolutely terrible. Gunther then makes his way down to the ring. Gunther starts off by saying, you shouldn't be mad at him, but this was good. This is the best thing of the night. The entire night, Gunther was the best thing of this show. Gunther then says you should be mad at the guy who tapped out like a little bitch. He's still going in with the John Cena heat. He is getting booed out of the building. I love it for Gunther. I love this for Gunther. Again, I wouldn't have done that finish that way, but if John Cena wanted it, fine. I'll give John Cena what he wants. If he wants to tap out and say it was the end, fine by me. I'm not here to tell John Cena what to do. He wanted that. He got that for himself. But this was actually a great in-ring promo, and it wasn't even that long. This was actually really good. CM Punk's music hits. Him and Punk makes his way down to the ring. Punk gets in Gunther's face and have a face-to-face stare down. He smiles in his face. Gunther then passes Rey Mysterio, but before Gunther passes Rey Mysterio, he looks at CM Punk and does John Cena, you can't see me, which is just so funny, just laughing at him. Rey Mysterio comes down the aisle. He shares some words with Gunther, and then he goes to the back. We then see Gunther walking in the back. He is happy. He then walks up to AJ Styles. AJ then says he doesn't know when to shut up, and Gunther says apparently he does not. And he starts laughing and then he just walks away. This is great. Gunther is the best part about this show. Point blank period. He is the best thing about this show right now. He is great. This whole thing about him getting the heat from the John Cena retirement tour thing and just him being the last one to do that and him getting the heat is great. This is fantastic. I thought this was the best thing of the night. It is then announced that next week on Raw, Stephanie Valkyrie defends the Women's World Title against Nikki Bella, Raquel Rodriguez in a triple threat match, and AJ Styles and Dragon Lee will defend the World Tag Team titles against the Usos. Divisions make their way down to the ring for the main event of tonight's show. We get to the main event. At the end of the main event, we get Austin Theory curb stopping Rey Mysterio using Seth Rollins' move to get the cover 1, 2, 3, wins the match. After the match is over, Braun Breaker tries to come in and beat up on CM Punk. It doesn't go well. He starts beating up on Braun Breaker. Then Austin Theory tries to get on the apron. CM Punk punches him off the apron. He turns around. He gets speared really hard. After he gets speared, Braun Breaker stands up over CM Punk and the show goes out to pitch black and it's over. My problem with this overall show is that the booking is just lazy. And you ask fans to buy tickets to be able to come see this during their holiday season when you know money is tight and you still want fans to come and watch this product, and it is horrible. Again, I just do not understand why you continuously give us a horrible product. There is no effort in the booking whatsoever on this show, and it's seriously concerning going into Royal Rumble season, going into Elimination Chamber, and then going into WrestleMania season. What is this booking? You're basically going to be on tour this entire month. Why do people have to come out and see these shows if you're not going to book it right? What's the point of going to a show or even watching the show if you're not going to actually put your best foot forward? Listen, I understand people haven't wanted to go on vacation. I don't mind taping the show, but when you tape the show, make it good. What is the point of taping the show and not doing anything good on the show? There was one thing that was good, and it was Gunther still trolling about the fact that he retired John Cena. It's everybody's favorite hero right now. Other than that, there was nothing else on this show that to sit up here and say, man, this holiday season, I'm going to go buy a ticket. This was bad. Just simply a bad show. No creative direction. Bad booking and all. And the person that you're going to blame is Triple H because he's in charge of this. And quite frankly, he doesn't even care because he thinks that fans should have the opinion that we should just sit here and watch it every single week. That's like telling a sports fan who pays their hard-earned money to go see the NFL team be bad for over a decade, like a Jets fan. To go be bad for a decade and still say you have no opinion, just shut up and go watch it. No. If you're going to be horrible, people are going to call you out for being terrible. It's the same thing in the NBA. If you're a Washington Wizards fan, you've been terrible for years. And then or a Pelicans fan, and then you wonder why people, well, how come we're not getting butts in the seats? Because you're horrible. And you make no effort. This show was a no-effort show. No effort once again. This is just bad. Bad creative, bad booking, and just horrible. A horrible show. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Please let me know in the description down below how you guys felt about this show overall. Again, I thought it was a total waste of time. At this point, they might as well at the end of the year in December do a best of show because this is just terrible. But let me know in the comments down below how you guys felt. Please hit the like button, subscribe button to the YouTube channel for more great content coming up. Until next time, guys, see you real soon.